all and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is regarding Steam and the Steam app possibly being on Xbox or the next generation Xbox. So recently Xbox accidentally revealed Steam tab in mock-up user interface. Now in short what they're basically saying is the next generation Xbox, there's going to be a portable Xbox and there's also going to be a hybrid console / PC. So I'm looking forward to that, which will be the premium device. But let's look at the portable. So it was revealed that possibly, this is just a rumor still, but the next Xbox will have a Steam app and allow you to play Steam games on it. And this is great, especially for a portable device, because it will go head to head with the Steam portable and the Jesus. Also, let's not forget the Switch 2, which at the moment isn't looking like a good option for players, considering the price increases and such. A lot of the, if you have to look at my previous video on this, a lot of the bad sort of negative impact it's having basically on its own device, our own portable device. I mean, the Switch 1 was fantastic and Nintendo has been great in the past, but they've really got greedy. But this is not a video about Nintendo, it's about the Xbox and Steam. So let's look more into this. So what I'm seeing a lot at the moment, or since this news sort of come out, is this above. It's comments like this from a lot of it from PlayStation fans and various other people. There seems to be oddly people concerned about the finances of Microsoft, one of the richest companies in the world. I'm not sure why they're concerned, or albeit Xbox, I'm not sure why they're concerned with their finances, especially when a lot of them don't even own Xboxes. But it just seems an odd sort of argument that you're really concerned about the profit margins of Xbox or its future. It just seems weird, especially as you don't own the console and you constantly hated it looking through people's timelines. But this is I just highlighted this one. There's loads of comments like this, but this one I could bring up some of my private ones I get through Xbox. But it's mainly this is sort of the basic of the whole thing. So this is the whole argument that sort of seems to run with. Steam will further cannibalize Xbox game sales since games on Steam are often cheaper. The next Xbox would likely be a pre-built PC with the Xbox logos on them, built and set to different specs and potentially upgradable via plugins and expansion ports. Now, I don't totally disagree with him on his second statement there. Yes, it will be very much, the premium device will very much be a plug-in sort of a hybrid PC, as I said earlier. But my issue with this comment is he thinks he's under a lot of people under the impression that Steam will cannibalize Xbox games. Now, there's two things points to bring up with all this. Firstly, the reason why they're putting Steam, why Xbox is pushing it onto Steam, chasing Steam player accounts, and putting their games on PlayStation and PC in the first place, and Nintendo. There's a great reason for this, and I think Xbox are sort of forward planning the future and the way gaming industry is going. So let's first touch on why they're doing this. The best way to do this is by looking at the sales of each generation of console with the PlayStation and Xbox. Let's start with the PlayStation 2 and Xbox OG. So PlayStation 2 eventually reached 155 million sales, there and thereabouts. Xbox OG was 25 million sales. That's a total of 180 million between the two. Then we have the PS3 and Xbox 360. Now this is a much tighter competition here. 88 million for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 had 86 million for a total of 174 million. So there was quite a bit of drop there in console sales for that generation. Then we had the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. PS4 was 180 million. Xbox One was 58 million for a total of 106 million. Can you see a trend here yet? Can you see this? There is a finite number of consoles that's going to be sold between the PlayStation and Xbox during each generation. So they're basically battling for the same consumer group. Can you see the pattern yet? Can you see it? Let's look at PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X. And there we go. PlayStation 5, 75 million. Xbox Series X, 35 million for 110 million. A massive drop. They're about 50 million below sort of the minimum of the PlayStations. And well, do you actually honestly think they're going to reach 200 million, PlayStation and Xbox combined? Do you think they're going to reach 180, 170s? We've only got 4 years left of the generation. Probably less for Xbox, because they're looking to release their next Xbox this and next year. So do you think PlayStation alone will reach that to 180, even 170 market? And the answer is no, which brings me nicely back to this kind of comment and these general comments that come out from PlayStation fans, thinking that Steam will destroy Xbox, and Xbox is doing the wrong thing. It's destroying its own company. Yada yada yada. You've heard it all. Heard it all before. Steam will further cannibalize Xbox game sales since games on Steam are often cheaper. Now, as I just showed, there is a finite number of consoles between PlayStation and Xbox that are going to be sold each generation. It's maxed out at 180 million. I don't think it's ever going to concede that. And Microsoft, being Microsoft, are forward planning, and they've seen it's written on the cards. They're not going to be able to compete with PlayStation, and they're not going to reach the maximum market they're going to reach if they keep exclusives and keep just onto their console. Is at a maximum 200 million. Even if you wiped out PlayStation, it's probably 200 million. Imagine that Xbox went, there was only PlayStation. Their only market would probably be only about 200 million. That is it. They will not extend further than that. Now, if you put Steam side by side to PlayStation and look at PlayStation maxing out at 200 million, Steam's like way beyond that. They're in the billion. You know what I mean? Way beyond that. So neither PlayStation or Xbox even come close to that number. Xbox wants to reach that number. Xbox does not cares about exclusives, not overly care about selling consoles. They want to make money. Every business wants to make money. So does Sony. And they're going to reach out further. They're going to go beyond console sales. And I think that's the right thing to do as a company. Why wouldn't you do that? In your mind's mind, you know you'd all actually do that if you wasn't capping for console sales and wanted a console war and just be childish, basically. As a business, you know you would want to sell your product and make money. Everyone would do it. People just won't accept reality and the truth, though, on here, on these apps. So in short, with that in mind, Microsoft decided to put their games day one on PC, reach out, tap other markets, tap other platforms. PlayStation, they've got old games. Why not release them on PlayStation? They're old games. We've been playing on Xbox for 4 years now. 2 years. Put them on, why not put them on other platforms? Let other people enjoy them, but make money off those people. And they are selling. So I don't see why you would do that. The concern that that's gonna ruin Xbox is absolutely absurd. Because Xbox seems to be growing from this. Game Pass is becoming outstanding now with the games they've been dropping. I mean, this month alone, I've done a calculation on Twitter the other day. If you'd bought Expedition 33, Oblivion, Avowed, Midnight, Doom. If you bought those games, you're looking at £300 if you bought those games. Whereas you get Game Pass, you just would have been £150 for the year. Job done. You would have got them all half price and some. You would have got extra games. So you save money with Game Pass for a start. It's not an advert for Game Pass, by the way. But the absurdity that it's bad for consumers is incredible, and support the devs, which is just another story. But I want to go back to this main point here. Steam will further cannibalize Xbox game sales since games on Steam are often cheaper. No, that would only matter. It would only cannibalize Xbox game sales if the game sales of Xbox were not on Game Pass. You see, when people are going to buy the games on Steam, as I just pointed out, then if you had the choice, so if you've already got PlayStation, if you've already got a PC, I should say, and you've got Steam, you very likely got Game Pass. If you've not, and you got the option to get Game Pass on Steam, on PC, you're going to get the games through there. You're going to get them through that system. You could get them through Steam, but then you're paying more over time for them, just the same as PlayStation fans are. So with a device coming out which has the option of Game Pass and Steam on it, that means you're going to carry all your library over from Steam and all your Xbox library over from Game Pass. So no, it won't cannibalize games at all, because you're not going to choose, if the games are on Game Pass, you're not going to choose to buy them off Steam when they're on Game Pass. So they won't cannibalize their own games. They may cannibalize games that are not on Game Pass or not on Xbox. They're not losing anything. They're not actually losing anything. If anything, they're getting people. If anything, they're pushing their console to more markets, because if you own a Steam, if you own a Asus or Steam Deck at the moment, they're great devices. But with this device, which is going to be possibly cheaper than both devices, but it's going to offer everything and give you much more option to play these games. With Game Pass day one, most likely you probably get it with a unit when you buy it, and with all the other benefits that come with Game Pass, plus Steam as well, so you don't lose your library from Steam and everything. It won't cannibalize. If anything, I see a lot of PC gamers, I'm a PC gamer, buying this device rather than a general console, or rather than a Steam Deck even, or most certainly an Asus, because that's very expensive. I mean, I'm certainly going to buy this device portable. Also, the benefit from this, what PlayStation fans are missing out on, if Steam is on Xbox, that means you're better to play all the PlayStation games on your Xbox without having to sort of give them revenue, give Sony revenue, but having to go for the ritroll of all the other nonsense that comes with it. Buy the games, buy the console. You're going to save a ton of money. You can just buy them through Steam. So you can have one unit, one Xbox portable unit that can play all your Steam games, play all your Xbox games, play all PlayStation games, and Nintendo possibly. So this is an absolute win for gamers, absolute win for Xbox and Microsoft, I think, but absolute win for gamers. And I cannot see why there is a negativity around this. Well, there is a clear definition of why there's negative against this, because they're concerned about the console war counts. That's what these people do. They count console sales, and they're more concerned, I think, about Xbox being a successful service and people enjoying it than just gaming. And I think that's the issue with a lot of gaming these days. It's lost its way, gaming, and I think, especially in console, I think console sales are dropping off. PC is growing. Steam is far ahead on player counts and players than sort of PlayStation and console, Xbox combined now. Console is slowly dying off. Both PlayStation and Xbox have been on a sales drop year on year, while Steam's been growing year on year. That speaks volumes, and it speaks volumes to Microsoft, because at the end of the day, they want it to make money. So there we have it. I wonder, hopefully some of you like to finally see the numbers out in front, because I think a lot of people just skirt around the whole thing. I'm not sure why. There we go. Steam will be great for Xbox if it has it. I think if it doesn't have the Steam app, I think it will struggle, absolutely. But with the Steam app, this will only grow sort of Xbox's sort of, especially abroad in Asia and things like that. I think it certainly will be the device to go to, especially over Switch. I think it will outdo Switch in the near future. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Please drop a sub, share, and like. But please drop in the comments below what you think of my opinion. If I'm a piece of shit, if I'm a piece of shit. Now, if my opinion is crap and you got a reason why, put it down in the comments below, and I'll be happy to debate you with it. Anyway, thank you all for watching. It's good to have you on board again. Until next time, goodbye for now.